In every banlist reaction video that I do, I complain about there not being enough cards unrestricted. And despite me being such a crybaby about it, I've never done my due diligence when saying what specific cards can and should come off, or at least be given a lesser restriction. So it's time for me to rectify that. Shiranui players, I need you to listen to me. I agree, and I will, but just not in this video. Got it, cool, let's fly in. Get it, fly, because eagles fly. Okay, who let me make YouTube videos again? Kawaki Miru Maximus, I just don't understand. My man has been limited to one since flipping bottles was cool, and no one's done anything about it. It's at the point where I'm starting to think Konami just accidentally forgot this card existed. Level 8 Wind Dragon, 3000 Wedge, and part of the Kawaki Miru archetype. It can't be normal summoned and can only be special summoned by banishing one Iron Core of Kawaki Miru from your hand. Destroys itself during the end phase like most of the archetype, unless you discard an Iron Core of Kyakumiru or reveal one Kyakumiru card from your hand. Then on a soft once per turn, he can destroy one card your opponent controls. Any of them. You can get rid of back row, boss monsters, whatever. During this card's prime, that destruction effect was overpowered as hell, especially since it was easy to bring out, and the fact that the effect is only a hard once per turn means that you could special summon more than one Maximus and just clear out your opponent's entire field. And with 3000 attack, it's really not hard for Maximus to finish the job either. So limited to one made sense. That way your opponent only had to deal with one, it reduced the consistency of bringing Maximus out, etc. So, is he really too strong to come back? Not at all. This card would do nothing if unrestricted. It's been power crept, like really bad. Assault Blackwing Raikiri and Chaos Dragon Levianeer are better than it, and they do similar things. But let's really react to the power creep on Maximus with everyone's favorite rank 8 Galaxy Photon package. Any deck that can go into rank 8s can go into Cypher Dragon, which can take control of an opponent's monster if you want, or just rank it up into the 4000 beater Galaxy Eyes Full Armor Photon Dragon, which can casually destroy one face-up card your opponent controls, or Galaxy Eyes Cypher Blade Dragon that literally has the same exact fucking effect that Maximus does, except it has 200 more attack, is way more consistent to bring out, and is harder to get rid of. And there are no restrictions on any of these Galaxy Photon cards. So is Maximus really that much fucking better, just that much levitating above every other boss monster in the game to where it needs to be limited to one? Nah, bring it on. Digital Bug Rhinoceros is the boss monster of Digital Bug and is currently limited to 2. He's a light insect rank 7 that requires light insect materials, but you can also rank him up from any rank 5 or 6 insect exceed monster. That is the way easier way to bring him out. He inflicts piercing battle damage and has a built-in quick effect destruction that does not target. See, during either player's turn, you can detach a material from Rhino to destroy your opponent's monster with the highest defense, and if it's a tie, it will destroy all monsters with that defense. This effect is very strong, and I've used him as a boss monster in Infernity before. But unlike Maximus, the big bad bug was never a problem within its own archetype. Nah, it ate it because of the last deck in Duel Links to hold the title of Tier 0, and that was Onimat. Rhino came out before Onimat was a big problem, but Inzektor Excabeetle came out during the height of Onimat's terror. The deck specialized in going into rank 4 and 6 exceeds, and Excabeetle became the first generic rank 5 or 6 insect exceed monster. So any deck that could go into any rank 6 then could go into Rhino. And this was back when interacting with your opponent on their turn was kinda rare with monster effects. It's why Cyber Slash was such a problem after Onimat got nerfed. But alongside the rank 6 Photon Strike Bouncer, Onimat effortlessly set up a negate, a quick effect destruction, had built-in recursion, literally 100% consistency, and it was dumb as hell. They limited a bunch of cards to 2 to nerf the deck, and also eventually obliterated the skill. Onimat has been dead ever since, and this card has not been a problem ever since. But it sucks because if you're a Digital Bug player, you can't run Treacherous Trap Hole or Enemy Controller or what have you, and it's your boss monster that did nothing wrong in his own deck and he's nerfed. Bring him off. Big Rhino Bug digital shit, it's fucking awesome, I love it. And lastly, for the first part of cards that can become unrestricted, Palace of the Elemental Lords. Field spell for the Element Saber archetype boosts monsters' attack times 200 for every attribute of monster that you have in your graveyard that's different, and then it can search any Element Saber monster from your deck at the cost of skipping your battle phase. And then it has this effect where any Element Saber monster effect that is activated that requires sending another Element Saber from your hand to the graveyard as a cost, you can send that Element Saber from the deck to the graveyard instead. So the best one, Mohelu, is a Book of Moon essentially. He can replicate that effect by discarding an Element Saber and can be used on your opponent's turn as well. But to do that normally by discarding from your hand, that's a loss of resources, it's a loss of card advantage, and Palace negates all of that for you. Element Sabers can also change their attribute in the graveyard to anything. All of this combined with Alistair the Invoker, Invoked Purgatrio, and especially Invoked Cocytus made Element Sabers a huge problem. They could control your opponent with Mohelu and Cocytus and then clean up with Purgatrio. However, these days Alistair and Invocation are both limited to 3. Cocytus is banned, and the natural power creep of the game just begs the question why this card is still limited. And in fact, this restriction on the deck doesn't even accomplish much. All it really does is prevent Element Sabers from running staples like Floodgate Trap Hole and Cosmic Cyclone. It's just pointless, take it off. So that'll do it for the first part in a video of cards that can become unrestricted in Duel Links now. I will continue to go through every single card that I feel it can come unrestricted. I want to give each of them a somewhat lengthy segment to where I'm doing their due diligence and explaining why they're on the ban list and why they can come off. So it won't be too many cards per part. But I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you in my next video.